Look both ways for across the street. Let's get started.
All right, everybody. Hello, welcome. David Kinder here, registered financial consultant, charter life underwriter, and I think one of my co-hosts will pop in momentarily. So right now it's just me, but what we're going to talk about today is planning for the business owner. Business owners are a completely different kind of person to do planning for than any consumer, than those who are getting close to or in retirement, because they have far more problems and far more to protect. Often it's a lot of legacy planning. It's protecting the business. It's ensuring the business continued survival or the orderly liquidation of the business. I still strongly believe in beginning with the end in mind once it's feasible. So, I don't watch a lot of Shark Tank, but there's enough of Shark Tank to watch. They can see that some people, they're getting in there and they're just trying to get off the ground. But I start thinking, how do they come up with that business valuation? I mean, they think their business is worth $25 million. Like, where the heck do they come up with that number? I'll guarantee you, they're looking at the potential of that business. They did not do a real full valuation. But if we could begin with the end in mind, even if you're just putting in term insurance in place on the other partners to protect against business loans, there's all kinds of ways to do that. You can start early and get some planning in place. Step 5 there is succession and exit. And then step 6 is post-exit, retiring, and protecting the estate. So I just wanted to kind of give a quick overview of that. That's going to be other plans to keep the business at the highest value possible. And the bankruptcy of a business, again, we talked about creditor protection. So this is probably going to be a shorter video than most, but let's talk about the problems of the death of a business owner. When a business owner passes, who needs money and how much? Who's going to take over that business? This is important. Who's going to take over the ownership of the business? And if that person doesn't want to actually run the business, then who's going to run it? So I want you to imagine you got a family. And hi, Rael, salute to you. So you have a family, and you've got 4 kids. And we're going to assume that they're all legal age. Okay, they're over 18. 2 of them are working in the business. The other 2 aren't. Who's going to take over the business? You might say, well, I'll leave it to the 2 that are. They're the ones that are showing interest. They're the ones that are contributing into the business. Great. How do you make sure that 10 years after you pass, all of your kids still want to get together for Thanksgiving dinner? Well, does the business owner have their own personal life insurance in place? No. Just because the business owner has a whole lot of assets doesn't mean they shouldn't have insurance. Why not? Because just because you have a business doesn't mean that your surviving spouse should be running it. Have they been running it at this point? Or if you're in partnership, let's look at the next one, disability. Disability is far more likely to happen than passing away. And here it would be my question for a business owner. Are you on your own company's workman's comp policy? And either they know that they're not on it, or it's like, well, why would I be on it? Because it would just increase the cost, right? Most business owners are not covered on their own workman's comp. Well, if you're not covered under workman's comp, then if you get sick or hurt and you can't work, how are you going to make sure that the bills are paid? Not just personally, but for your business. Would you like your business to survive you having a long-term disability? If you were sick or hurt and couldn't work for 6 months, what would happen to your business? Have you ever done that for a vacation? Have you ever taken a 6-month vacation? Now, that's on your terms, right? Well, imagine if you're sick or hurt, you can't work for 6 months. Would you like your business to still be there when you come back?